everyone, I'm Samantha McGee, and we're here today with Ben Alexander, who is Danos' Rope Access Program Manager and Trainer. Can you tell me a little bit about your career history, how you got started with Danos, and how you became involved with rope access?
So I started with Danos in 2015. I started with them as a scaffold builder. I knew when I started that it wasn't really what I wanted to do, but I've heard from a lot of people that when you go offshore, you can pick up a lot of other crafts. So that was what I set my goal on. When I started with them, I got set with a crew of really good supervisors, and they saw that I wanted to learn. I kind of wanted to go the pipe fitting route, and then I went on a job, and I saw a crew of rope access techs, and we got to work with them, and I was really intrigued on what they were doing. And the more I talked with them, they actually let me see a harness and everything and how they did it. And then I knew from there, that's what I wanted to do. So I got with my supervisors and let them know that, and they sent me and got trained.
Great. So you've been doing rope access for how long?
Going on almost 4 years.
And so how has rope access helped you develop in your career?
It's helped me accomplish things I never thought I would accomplish. I made it into the office, so that was a big thing for me. I never saw myself doing that. It helped me grow a lot as a person and as a supervisor, and in a supervisor role, because you have a lot of responsibility. So I like that.
Can you explain the training process for someone who wants to become a rope access technician?
So you'll start as a level 1, which there's very little requirements you have to meet. You just have to be 18, physically fit, things like that. And then from there, you have to to SPRAT regulations, you have to do at least 6 months and 500 hours as a level 1 before you can level up to a level 2. As a level 1, it's mainly just being a little helper, doing a lot of the work to get experience. When you get to 2, that's when you can start taking on more of a supervisor role, but you still are working. And then to make a level 3, it's 6 months and 500 hours as a level 2. And then you can go for your level 3s, which when you get to level 3, that's when you become a supervisor and you start to help grow the 1s and 2s underneath you.
Great. And so what level technician are you right now?
I am a level 3 SPRAT technician and a level 3 IRATA, so I'm dual certed.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you walk us through the essential skills or elements you emphasize during training?
So with the SPRAT and IRATA training, they have a very strict certification requirement guidelines, and they are very cut and dry on what they want to see and what you have to know to get your certification. When you go through training, it's not much of field things that you're going to learn. It's going to be more or less just techniques, like rescue techniques and rigging, and just climbing methods and things like that.
That's great. How long does the training process typically take? If I want to become a rope access technician, what do I need to do next?
So you would get enrolled in a class. The class is 5 days. It's 4 days of training and 1 day of an assessment. So you'll go through 4 days of learning whatever you need to learn for whatever level you're going for. And then on the 5th day, an outside assessor will come in and assess you on the things you learn to make sure you meet the requirements to get your certification.
Thank you. And you're doing the trainings currently, correct?
Yes.
Great. Are there any pay or other incentives involved with working with rope access that someone might want to incentivize them?
The biggest thing is pay. I mean, a lot of people do it for the pay. For me, it's more or less it's just what I enjoy doing. But pay is a really big incentive. It's been around for a while, but not as long as everything else. So it's still kind of new to a lot of people. So it's good to get in while it's early. That way, you can make a lot of money doing it.
Who is this type of work for, and what do you look for in rope access workers?
It's for really anybody that thinks they can handle it. The heights are a big thing, so you definitely can't be afraid of heights. It's definitely different in training than it is when you go in the field. I've seen a lot of people do very well in training, but when they get in the field, the heights kind of are different because they're on 2 groups. I really just look for people that are willing to learn, because that's kind of the hardest thing to find nowadays. So anybody that's willing to learn can go a very long way with it.
Are there any special trade skills you should develop beforehand?
Not necessarily. It's beneficial to have a craft, beforehand, that kind of comes back to the money thing. You can get a little more money if you have a craft and you're just adding ropes. But you can also just go get your rope access and be a technician.
So what kind of crafts are applicable with rope access work?
All of them. For instance, like we do coatings, construction. We have I&E rope techs. It's really almost endless. They got window washers. They got people that scale mountains. Wind is really big. Inspection. It almost covers almost anything.
What's the most interesting job that you've been on?
Probably decommissioning jobs, just because like the rope work is really in depth and you get to really use your skills and a lot of rigging that you don't normally get to use.
Are there other applications besides industrial, or is rope access, what kind of industries is rope access available for?
Wind, like they got GMO certifications you can get for wind. Window washers, they do rock abatement, which is where they go in like mines and on mountain sides, and they hang like the chain net and stuff like that. Construction on land and offshore. There's people like overseas, they do dome work and rigging for like concerts and stuff they do. There's a lot. It's really in depth.
Quite a variety,
Yes.
not just here in the energy industry for sure.
Not at all.
What are the physical and mental demands of rope access?
You need to be physically fit enough. You use more of your legs than anything else when you're climbing, just because your legs are like the strongest muscle in your body. You can't have any health conditions like bad heart or anything like that. Mentally, you need to be, able to trust that your equipment is going to save your life. You need to be able to put a lot of trust and faith in your equipment and your level 3, because there'll be some times, like I've climbed towers where you couldn't see the anchors, so you didn't really know, right? You just have to have a lot of trust in the people you're working with, which comes with time. And another thing is being able to mentally hang 100 plus foot off the ground and be fine with that.
So are you typically working with teams, correct?
Yes. We have a minimum of 3, but you can work with as little as 2.
And in general, are it people that you work with before, or does it just depend on a case-by-case situation?
Case by case. I've been with a company that it was kind of like the crew stayed together, but here it's kind of hard to do that. So, but most of the people we work with, we may not work with them all the time, but we do work with them enough. You
talk about, you need to be mentally able and prepared to hang hundreds of feet in the air. What's the typical length of time or that looks like?
Depending on how high you are, usually depends on that. Like if you're 20, 30 foot off the ground, a lot of people would just come up and down as they need it. Once you get into the 100 plus, it's usually just go up there and you work until you can. So, and it's really on the technician. Like I can sit for a long time. I know some people that can't. The harnesses are comfortable, but they take a little bit to get used to. So that can be challenging for some people.
Like riding a horse, huh?
Yeah, basically.
I'm sure you don't have a typical day, but what might, a typical assignment or a typical day of a rope access technician consist of, if you could put that into words? It's
pretty normal for the most part, as it is for everybody else. Like if you're on a job, you wake up, get your permits, do everything, walk the jobs, right there. But the difference is like when you hang your ropes, do whatever work you got to do, and then de-rig it. That's it. That's kind of a hard one to explain because it's so different, but the majority of it, that's about the basics.
Great. Is there any advice that you would give to someone considering a career in rope access?
Me personally, I would do it. It's been very beneficial for me. A lot of the other people I've ever met in their careers, it's been very beneficial for them. I've never really met anybody that didn't like it unless, you'll know very fast if it's for you or not. And it can take you a very long way. And you can make a very good living doing it.
Ben, can you tell us, if someone was interested in getting rope access training, where would they go?
There aren't very many training centers locally to Louisiana, but Danos does offer in-house training in Amelia to in-house employees and third-party personnel.